Hey everybody, welcome back to Stratego Freaks for a super exciting day of Stratego. We just watched a crazy match between Skyfall and Remy. They had a challenge match and put on quite a show. Remy pulled out a victory with 3 seconds left on the clock. He was down material early in the game and somehow found a way to get the win with barely any time. And that's why we're watching this game, people. We'd love to see action-packed, tense, tight games, and that's what we just saw. But now, we're moving on to the king of Strategus. Current king, Marcy Regina Wu, playing against former king competitor, Duncan. Another very strong player. Guy took a little bit of a break and is now back. A little update about Duncan. This guy can play. And I look to see him participate ongoing, if his schedule permits, in the King of Strategus and other challenge matches and things of that nature. But the guy can flat out play. I've seen it. He's given Nemesis all kinds of trouble. And we know that he's a very solid, well-rounded player. And I expect to see MRW and Duncan go at it and put on a show like we just saw. Marcy going on, which could be a 5-game win streak, increasing her total title defenses to 11, which is a nice accomplishment. You know, the King of Strategus has been going on for a few months, I don't even know when we first started. But that's consistency, and that's the sign of a strong player. We have a lot of talent in the King of Strategus, and here's Duncan. And to be able to continuously win over that course of time shows you that Marcy Regina Wu is one of the top players in the game, and is only getting better. As I mentioned, Marcy Regina Wu is 15 years old, and you can kind of crunch the numbers on that. What's this player going to look like in a few years, right? So there's a lot of growth still to happen, and you can expect Marcy, MRW, as I like to call him, to be sitting atop the ELO rankings and tournament play over the next many years. So pay attention, people. There's a star on the rise. Let's see if the wily veteran Duncan can take the throne away from MRW. So I have no idea what's in store. Both players highly unpredictable, both very smart, and expect some exciting, fun play today, as usual. Once again, a reminder of the rules. There can be no draws in the King of Strategus. A draw results in a loss for both players, and the next 2 people in the queue will play for the crown. So that just puts on additional pressure for the competitors to go for it. And that's what we want. In my ideal scenario for all the competitors is everybody gets a chance at the crown, and everybody gets a chance to win it. And this format does force our players to, you can go for the draw in a lot of situations. This isn't that. This is going forward. I mean, at the end of the day, this is just a fun competition. Sure, we want to be the king. It's always good to be the king. But what's more important is active play, aggressive play, and going forward. It's not just for the competitors. It's for our audience and new players coming in and seeing this fun, attacking Stratego. And it just makes for a fun game. And, you can't take it too seriously. Now it looks like Duncan's ready. He's probably got a nice little setup for this match. And MRW currently in the lab creating an exotic formula. And here we go. King on the bottom in blue, Duncan in the green. Opposite side the board, progress. Marcy coming up hot with a 3-piece armada on the A and B file, and Duncan matching on the right side of the board on I and J. An insta push. I have a feeling, okay, that's a scout. we know that Marcy loves to use early scouts, but has lately been using a lot of majors in the front. Duncan pushing by, doesn't even want to exchange. Wants to come down, and there's a colonel. Gives up the captain, but gets the colonel information. That could possibly become a target, and here comes a piece. What could this be? Major. Oh, it looks like MRW looking to push by and discover something as well. It's the Gen. Oh, and an early Gen take. Had it perfectly placed, waiting for that. Marcy was waiting, and now Duncan was going for it, looking to jump on our current king, but ends up losing a general very early. The risk did not pay off in that scenario. I could see myself doing the same thing, but right now, Duncan in an early hole. Very hard to come back down an early gen, so we'll see. Down a captain and a gen against a very game MRW. Another piece coming down. And Marcy focusing on this king side, king side, but on the marshal side. And there's the gen. Very early high piece is known now. Can Duncan take advantage of that? Marcy pushing. Captain still advantage there. Exchanging. Even in scouts. I'm pretty sure Duncan gave a head palm there when his gen got sucked up there. So Duncan down the captain, the gen, and 2 sergeants. Does have the advantage in the lieutenant, but not competent. That's not going to compensate right now. Another scout. Marcy looking to scout out this board. Has the advantage, doesn't want to do anything crazy. Can probably GTO this down to an advantageous position. The one thing that Duncan has going for him, his marshal is still a mystery. And I've seen players come back from deficits like this before. I wouldn't be surprised if Duncan clawed back in here. Bang, picks up a lieutenant. Looking to get material wherever he can. You want to win a game like this, you're going to have to grind in and get a material advantage. And I don't mean high pieces, I mean just a lot of material. That's one way you can fight back from down positions. Okay, so now, giving up a little bit of information with these majors, but definitely grinding back in. Let me get over to the chat and see what's going on. And there's Charlie and Smalley. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in, Charlie. Please tune into the chat, people. Love to hear your input. Yeah, Duncan will definitely fight this one down. He's a game player. And this is what I'm talking about. New players. A lot of people would want to quit after having their gen taken that early in the game. Duncan's not going to do that. And pay attention. Let's see what tricks he has up his sleeve to see if he can get back into this game. Does have that nice 3 lieutenant advantage. And later in the game, that becomes very important. With the spies still on the board, Duncan can use that spy to help keep that known marsh at bay. And we all know that Stratego is an information game. And if you play your spy right, if you're good with the spy, you can nullify a lot of attacks and put questions into your opponent's mind. Here we go. Duncan's going to want to keep that Marshall coveted until there's a known profit for exposing it. You're looking to keep it secret until you can it pays dividends. That's a push. And a take. That's an aggressive kernel play. Marcy down to 1 scout. Typical of MRW to go down scouts early in the game. Sucks up the last scout. Nice little piece movement there by Duncan to get that, only giving up the minor information. Pace is slowed a little bit. You know, Marcy keeping that piece up in the setup down there, that kernel. Pushing up on this is probably a dead piece right here. And there's 2 kernels down. Oh, will Duncan get a kernel back here? No, no. Very interesting. Yeah, because that in the exchange, and that felt like an exchange. If it had been the Marshall, Duncan would have pushed, and he would have been able to get one of those kernels. So that just made sense that it wasn't. It would have been an incredible ruse if he didn't decide to go for it right then. But this is an interesting, if you're new to the game and you're watching this, if you're just starting to play Stratego, pay attention. You get down generals and kernels, and you have to know how to navigate and keep things close. The longer these games go on, the more opportunities your opponent will, has a chance to make a mistake. And if you can capitalize on that, you're right back in it. So you're looking to just outplay your opponent. And these situations happen all the time. Both players well-versed in aggressive tactics and endgame. And they know how to finish, discover an attack. And we're going to see some of that here. Marcy can no longer scout, so Duncan's spy has a lot more mobility and can put itself in some predicaments to make it a little less obvious. So we might see some of that from Duncan. So here we go. The pace is slowed down, and that's a push on there. Are we going to see another exchange here? Will there be an exchange of kernels? It looks like that's going to get taken. No? Very, very interesting game. Just about a 2-minute differential here. Duncan has plenty of time to find the right sequence to move forward. I think this is the first time we've done 2 live streams in one day. Yeah, I'm looking to do as much as I can. I do have a busy schedule as well, but the more games we stream, the better it is for the game of Stratego. It just brings eyeballs on it, makes people want to play. I mean, especially when we're seeing fun, exciting play like we saw earlier and right now, it generates interest. And that's what we're doing with Stratego Freaks. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and join the fun. Please open an account on Strategus or Stratego.com. I recommend both. You're going to want to play different players from all around the world. You can get on both and experience different levels of play, new players, different styles. All right, push in the center here. I've lost a little bit of track, and there's the Marshal. But evens out the captain piece, and now it's known, though. And now the general can stranglehold and come over and take some of these pieces here. Aggressive, gets that lieutenant back, trying to even that out. Duncan in a little bit of a situation that Jen can freely attack, and is going to gobble up that miner. Spies could be anywhere. Good spy play, as I mentioned, can change everything around for you. And it can, isolate and control the board. Always keeping your opponent on edge, never letting him feel comfortable with that spy still on there. Marcy playing an aggressive game today. He's down in the setup and pressing. This is a very interesting position because the spy could be there, and the gen is, so we really don't know how this pans out, and they're going to exchange, and that's going to allow a take here. There goes the spy, and that's a fine. I mean, if you're going to lose the piece now, it should be the spy because both marshals are off the board. Duncan coming down hot, looking to get something here. Has to claw back. Is going to have to lotto some pieces. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's a dead piece. And it's a major. That was major. But Duncan doing an attack on his side. Let's see what he's going to scoop up here. Marcy not hesitating. He's bringing something up the center. And gets a captain. That's big. All the pieces matter now. But having that gen on the board coming down, gen advantage, major advantage. This piece coming down. Is this a vulnerable side? Because Marcy coming back doesn't necessarily like this situation. Is the flag there? No, it is not. That's coming out. Trying to save that sergeant. Duncan down 2 miners now, was really hoping to get in there. And that piece is getting out, and that looks like a lockdown situation here. Will he hit the corner? Minor's so important. You're down 2, you go down 1 more, especially with this many moved unpieces. These pieces haven't moved. It's hard to get 1 down. That's 2 squared. You can expect Marcy to play a very GTO type of game here and just try to maintain these advantages and systematically get down. Yeah, okay, uses that. They're going to exchange. So Duncan looking to take advantage of that's an exchange as well, of the captain and the lieutenant advantage. I'm going to try to use those 2 pieces in the end there. That's locked off. So that, I guess that is a major over there on, it's hard to say. But Marcy Regina Wu with the 2 majors. Going to roam this board aggressively. That piece is coming down. Trying to make a run to the corner and allows it. Yeah, this is getting Duncan running out of opportunities now. He's pinched off. He was really trying to make a run to that AB file. If the flag had been there, he did have an opportunity, but it wasn't. Getting another piece down. Interesting. That piece is getting out, and if Duncan takes, it looks like it'll be 2 squared. You're going to take that. That looks like it's pinched off, and it is. This game is looking very over. Some deficits and positions are. And there it is. That was a quick king of Strategus. Marcy Regina Wu does it again. That early general take, an aggressive play by Duncan, really put him on his heels from the get-go and couldn't really recover. And went for it, had an opportunity. It wasn't there. Congratulations once again, MRW. That is your 10th or 11th title defense overall. That's amazing. Duncan, thank you again for your participation. Super aggressive play. And that's what happens sometimes in Stratego. You go for it, you try to get an advantage, and sometimes it's not there for you. And, I hope this is another learning moment for all the players out there. Those do or die moments happen all the time. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you got to go for it, and it doesn't work out. Guys, I got to go. We had a great day of Stratego. Thanks again to all the participants in today's challenge matches and King of Stratego, or Strategus, I should say. And I really enjoy covering these matches, and I hope you do too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's going to be more upcoming matches. We'll get the next one scheduled for our King. I don't know who's next on the list, but I'm sure it'll be another amazing game. So thanks again. Guys, I got to run. I'll see you on Strategus. I'll see you on Stratego.com, and I'll beat you there too. Bye now.